Hey, how you doing? All right, all right. Hey, Crystal, how are you? Glad to have you guys on here tonight. It's going to be a good conversation. I'm going to go ahead and pray and get started, Shamika. All right. So, Father, we thank you today. We bless you. We honor you. We thank you for your presence. We thank you for your plan. We thank you, God, for the plans that you have for us. They're big plans. They're good plans. Now, Father, I pray that you revelate on tonight. Give us clear direction and instruction to take territory, to advance, to increase. God, I thank you that all that we put our hands to, it shall prosper and be of good success. Now, I thank you, Lord. Now I release multiple millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions into our accounts right now in the name of Jesus. I thank you for zip codes, cities, regions. I thank you for revealing all those things. I thank you for giving us all the resources, all the lending, all the grants, all the people, everything that we need to be strategically, supernaturally, exponentially successful. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Hey, Jerika, what's up, girl? Okay, so I'm excited to get on here tonight. I wanted to do this live tonight. Usually I would have kind of tried to do my lives on Monday, but this week is a really, really heavy week, Gail, of travel. And so I was like, I want to make sure that we have this conversation because one thing that I've learned about vision, you have to keep it before you. Anything that you want to become, you have to keep it before your eyes and you have to keep it in your ears, and you got to continue to have the conversation, cast the vision. And one thing that I've learned about vision is that as you start to step into it, the vision will begin to grow. It'll begin to expand. It'll begin to multiply when you start to lean into anything in particular. And so tonight I'm going to be talking to you about real estate in particularly and how to build it with equity and then also grants. I am really blown away right now at the amount of money that is available. To be honest, I always knew that grant money was a thing, but I'm learning more and seeing that it is a real thing that can really change everything. And actually, Elon Musk built a big part of the foundational first couple of phases of his empire with grant money, governmental grant money, because the thing about governmental grant money is that when they see that you're actually doing the work, then they're going to continue to give you more money on every round of grants that you get. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you is that don't just, listen to that you're hearing about DEI cuts and things like that, and then you just automatically assume that, oh, there's no grant money. No, there's actually tons of grant money, not just on a federal level, which is where a lot of the cuts are happening, but also on state levels. And so we have access to that. Now, real estate is one of those things. Hey, Kima. Hey, beautiful. I see. I'm going to bring you on in a minute. Grant money and real estate is one of those things that you literally can do anywhere in the entire country, right? Literally anywhere in the world. Now we're having all kinds of revelation and access to real estate that can happen anywhere, literally in the world. And there are definite points that I think that you need to look at when you start thinking about investing in real estate. You need to look at how much is the entry, how much is the profitability, how much can I make if I do the flip? How much can I make if I keep it as rental income? Because all real estate is not created equal. All single families are not created equal, and all land is not created equal. Owning real estate, owning land, obviously is good anywhere in the world. But specifically, when you start looking at profitability and wanting to focus in, I believe that you need to have a focused real estate effort. Like, in other words, don't go too wide, right? Drill down on a particular zip code or a particular city or particular region, drill down there and expand there, because anytime you have large amounts of people going into real estate in one particular area, you can do what we call forced price appreciation and cause the comps to be, to go up in that particular area, because you're investing so much in that area that you now begin to can kind of call the comps, you as well as maybe any other investors that are investing in those areas with you. And so We're going to talk about tonight the credit aspect, building your real estate portfolio with credit and how good credit is so important, but then also building it with grant money as well. But the key for anything is that you got to get started. You know, you can keep talking about what you going to do, what your friend is doing, what your mom and them doing, but at some point you got to say, okay, I got to get into the game, and then not allowing maybe a past disappointment or knowing somebody else's story that was maybe not necessarily a good story stopping you from that, because you got to remember there's good and bad in anything, right? You never just look at one real estate deal and say, oh, that didn't go well, so I'm not going to invest anymore. It's like going to the doctor and say, man, that wasn't a good doctor, I'm never going to the doctor again, I'm just going to go simply find another doctor. And you can find that in any area. You can find that with accountants, you can find that with doctors, you can find that with attorneys, you can find that in real estate. There's good and bad of everything, but I've learned that there's always an answer. And I believe that 2025, this year in particular, as a year where a lot of people are going to be made very wealthy in a short amount of time. Like, it used to be one of those times where it took you years to become a millionaire. Like, literally now, I believe in the next couple of years, being a millionaire is going to be like making $100,000 or a couple $100,000 a year. And so it can happen very fast if you're strategic, if you're focused, and you're ready to run the play. And so I'm going to bring Kima on right now because she is a credit strategist and doing some amazing things. I got to give her a shout out right now. My credit was hit by about 52 points just from hard inquiries and stuff like that. And literally, it wasn't even a full 60 days. She got that stuff off of my credit, and my credit jumped up 52 points. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm almost right there. Well, actually, I think I checked. I'm like right at my FICO score, I think is right at 801 or something like that, which is amazing because she knows how to do the work. Now, here's the thing about credit. You're going to always have to have a credit specialist on your team if you're going to be a serious investor, because you're always going to be investing, doing deals, which means hard inquiries are going to go on there. Some people want to do it themselves, but to be honest with you, I have no desire to do it myself. I need to focus on doing the next deal, finding the next deal. So Kima, thanks for jumping on here tonight. I really, really appreciate it. Tell us a little bit about what you do with credit, and you guys will understand why I brought her on, because I want you all to have an opportunity to get your credit together, and then hopefully get you in our mentorship program so that we can get you to the bag with building real estate. So how long have you been in credit, and what are some of the things that you do specifically?
Thank you so much for bringing me on. And thank you for being so transparent, because believe it or not, some people don't like to talk about their own credit profile. So that's big, and I applaud you. Yes, we were able to get that removed. I was so excited. We were celebrating like, yes, that is it. But hello, everyone. Yes, my name is Kima Hennett. I've been in the credit space for going on 6 years now. I take credit to all the way to home ownership. I love real estate, and I make sure the individuals get all of those negative items off. I'm in a circle of entrepreneurs, so I know there's certain things that lenders are looking for. So I specialize in removing those negative items. Jewel, you brought up a fabulous and so like down to the point remark. When you are an investor and you are applying for loans, applying for funding, yes, we are racking up those hard inquiries. What most people don't know is we need to get those off immediately before it does report. And some of these companies does report to your actual credit profile, and some don't. So we definitely need to, okay, Kima, I applied for so and so, and it's on my report, remove it before they start applying. But what I do is get the credit in position, make sure the individual have their business formation on point, not just a LLC, not just a EIN. Make sure all of that is formatted perfectly, pretty on paper. Then we go after the business funding. And then that's when I basically could turn them over to you, and you can go ahead and get them to that house. So we're doing everything as a team, from credit down to closing on the
Yeah.
properties,
Yeah.
right? So, and most of the lenders, what they are looking for is for you to have no negative derogatory accounts on your profile, which is like collections or charge-offs or lates. They don't want to see no more than 3 hard inquiries per credit reporting agencies. Some of you may know that as credit bureaus, but it's no such thing as bureaus. They are credit reporting agencies. So no more than 3 on each one. They like to see primary accounts on your credit profile. How well can Dr. Jewel manage money on her account? I'm not a big fan of getting caught up on credit scores because I've seen people get denied with a 750 or 800. But I look at the profile. When you go into the profile, this particular client was an authorized user on their credit report. An authorized user basically means they're riding someone else's credit. So the lenders like to see, okay, at least 5 accounts, primary, your accounts. Don't get so stuck up on, what's the limit, because we can do something to fix the limit part. Make sure you have no derogatories. Make sure you have no lates. Make sure your utilization is at least less than 30%. Me personally, the closest you could get to zero, the better, right? And people have to do the calculations. If anything, and I don't want to sound like I'm giving you guys homework, but the best thing you can do is write down every credit card you have that is your credit card. So if you have a limit of $1,000, make sure you're multiplying that by 30%, and that's what you're supposed to bring the balance down to. Now, I like to do 25, because what if you have interest, right? And the interest may bring it up to 30%. So 1,000 times 30%, that's $300, right? That's the baseline of where you should be. There's not so many lenders that will approve you if you're riding with high utilization. So once we get everything off your credit, which can be done, I mean, down to bankruptcies. Don't feel like, you had a bankruptcy, it's over. I loved when you mentioned don't hear about other people's stories. Oh, this is not able to be done. I done tried this, tried that. Credit repair is a process. You have to know that. But I like to use the acronym SWOT, right? Switch your way at thinking. What would you rather wait 6 months or 7 years for it to fall off, right? No, you trying to get into investments. So I know once you get started in the credit process, you're very anxious, but just know there's going to be a positive outcome. You looking at someone that has been homeless before, had a 400 credit score before, and had filed bankruptcy before. Anything you could think of, I done been there, done that, and I reversed it. It's all reversible. Now
Mm,
I own homes, own property in Detroit, have businesses, and it's like all due to credit. And this is why I got in the field, because credit and real estate has changed my life forever. I'm telling you. So
girl, girl,
listen, and I
such
love the fact that I love answering credit questions. So if anyone would like to, jump on a call with me, I don't have all day to answer the questions, but I look at your profile entirely. I get most people, hey, how much you charge for credit? No, I look at your profile, give you a free strategy, tell you what you should do, and give you options. But you have to mention Jules' name because there's certain perks with that. When you met.
Listen, we getting all the privileges,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
And
it's certain little perks with that I don't
yeah,
offer to, everyone else. But
yeah.
Drew, I mean, as far as lenders, I know we're all here doing investments. Just look at it like this. If everything was easy, everybody will be doing it. You have to start somewhere. Like enough is enough. Let's just start the process, right? And then you got to think about it. Things are always changing. So let's start doing it the right way. Let's start making sure our business is legit on paper. We're moving legit and we're not cutting any corners, right? We're removing these things off of your credit. And look, this ain't no paid advertisement. Jewel is telling you it's been done. I'm watching it get done, and results may vary. But Jewel, I had a client, and I don't know if you've seen this. The first round, he had 49 items removed off his credit. So
Whew.
imagine how much he had. But the thing is, I applaud him because he started the process, and that was on the first round. So when I called him, I had to call him personally, and he couldn't believe it, right? So if you're sitting there with things like a child support, that could be removed. Charge-offs could be removed. Bankruptcy, anything reporting on your credit can be removed. But the newest thing out now is the student loans is hitting people credit like no other, because now they're making it to where they have to report when you're late. Student loans only report when you're late when you're 90 days. They don't report at 30 nor 60. So I'm getting a lot of people now saying like, my score is dropping 100 points, right? It's due to them student loans. But anything you could think of can be removed. Now, one last thing, Drew. In order to maximize funding, when it's time for investments, it's knowing which bank pulls which agency pulls from which bank. So in other words, if you go into Chase and they pull from TransUnion, right? And then you go to say Bank of America, and they only pull from Experian. So now that's 50,000 each, right? That's 100,000. You go to another bank that only pulls from Equifax. Now that's 150 versus going to different companies that pull from the same bank. They all will be able to see that you accent for credit. So you have to know which banks pull from which credit reporting agency, and that's how you maximize it. So let's just say if you have more than one LLC, you can do that on each LLC. Those are called different rounds of funding. So once we get your credit in position, we can maximize the funding. The funding is there. We just need to make sure you meet in all the criterias. And if you hear that word no, just consider that as a temporary thing. Because if they say no, you always need to find out why you are getting denied. Because if they say something like, okay, well, Jewel, it's because your utilization is high. So what would you do? Find a strategy, bring it down, and when it's down, you go back. Don't take that no and get, all, discouraged. Just take that as a temporary and we will fix it. And then you go back and get that funding. But the funding is out there. The only thing is we just need to make sure we're in position because the lenders are starting to tighten up, which they should. But if we got legit businesses, hey, it's nothing that we could, get discouraged about.
Yeah, that's really good. So I want to say this, that's good. You brought out a lot of good points, and this is really important for all of you on here because I know all of you are investors. Cynthia, Gail, Crystal, Apostle Carter, all of you are going to be investors. Now, the thing that I do want to say about credit too is you're going to keep wanting to increase your amount, especially if you're serious about building a portfolio. You might start off with 50,000 from Chase or 50,000 from Bank of America, but what you want to eventually do, I think every 90 days, as long as you're paying on time, they should increase it. Now, let me tell you, I had this just happen recently. Truist Bank, I have a business credit card with them for like 20,000. I only use like probably $400. And I want to say it was due, and I should have set it up on automatic. I think it was due maybe like on the 2nd, but maybe I paid on the 5th. And then I had, and then I just kept paying on it every month. But then I just got a letter from them. Now, this is before you removed all my hard inquiries, by the way. But I got a letter from them saying, because you just removed everything like maybe a week or a week and a half. But maybe right before that, I got a letter saying they were reducing my limit from 20,000 to 2,000, which I was like, you guys are tripping, right? So the thing is like you got to keep managing it. And I immediately was like, dang, I should have set that up on automatic, right? Because you got so many things going
Yeah.
on. Think about that.
But but another gem would be pay your bills with that, right? In other words, if some people are still using debit cards, nothing against, what you're believing that you should use. But in reality, you should not be using a debit card. So let's just say if you had a gas bill, a light bill, or a water bill that you normally was paying from your regular checking account or your regular debit card, put that on auto pay from your business card. You're going to pay it back anyway from your checking account, right? Because you got to think about it, Jewel. If you had a $20,000 limit and they really see you only using 400, they're going to say, she don't need this 9,000, 19,600. They don't need, she don't really need that. So what I say is to my people that have regular bills, start putting it on your credit card. Start putting it on your business credit card. When you get in gas, we should only be using that because we have to pay it back anyway. And for
And we
those,
gotta show, and I guess we got to show that we need it. Now, if I want to go back and get that increase, I guess I should wait maybe a month or 2 or 3
no,
to.
so did you call them and they asked you why?
I didn't call.
Yes, that's the number one thing. Always call. Whenever there's a denial, make sure you call. And
Or
if something
reduction.
like that happens,
Reduction,
call.
yeah.
Yeah, reduction call and ask to speak to the reconsideration department.
Okay.
Because once they look at your credit alone, some of them look at your credit and then some of them is just going to look at your payment history within them. And 9 times out of 10, they will go ahead and, increase it back. But another thing too, as far as, and I would like to, I don't see who's all on, but if you work a 9 to 5, right, and you're just getting started with your business formation, you just started a business bank account, why not have your business, your checks go directly to your business bank account? That's showing you getting some sort of income. You get it? So why sit it just in the regular old checking account? No, just go to HR, go online, have it go into your business bank account because some of these lenders may ask for a bank statement, but that's if you go to these banks that's only utilizing your EIN number, right? But if you get a direct deposit every 2 weeks, I would have it go straight to my business bank account.
Okay, yeah, that's really good point. Business bank account okay, so also is it every 90 days that, let's just say, like I got an open line of credit with the bank, right? And I started off with 20, now it's at 50. I guess I should be getting ready to go back and after 90 days or so and ask them to increase it, or what's your suggestion there? Because I want to say this, it's important when you think building a real estate portfolio. Don't just think about the first deal or the second deal. You want to get to a point where you're multiple millions of dollars in debt. I have 7 figures in debt in real estate, but I'm cash flowing a good amount of money every single month off of all of my tenants. Okay. So I guess talk about why we want to continue to, how often can you continue to go back and get increased? Because you want to continue to increase that limit so you can go on to the next deal, the next deal, and the next deal.
But my thing is for every creditor is a different time frame. And
Okay.
like in other words, say if you go to Capital One, they may say you can only ask for one every 30 days. Or some of these banks may say it's just whenever you want to ask for it. But then you do have some banks or some accounts, like say Best Buy, right? Where you can use a Best Buy card anywhere. It doesn't have to be in a Best Buy store. But the thing is, every time you ask for an increase, where they're not just automatically giving it to you, that's a hard inquiry. So it's best that you call each one of your accounts and say, is this going to be a hard inquiry? But when I ask for an increase, and how often can I ask for an increase? And keep that on file. So if someone says every month, then you can ask for it every month. but there's stipulations to it. In other words, if you have a $5,000 credit limit and you're only using $200, 9 times out of 10, you may not get it all the time, because now they want to know, all right, you already have $4,800 that you barely use, and now you're asking us for 10,000 more, right? So before you go and just ask for these increases, make sure you're maxing it out as much as possible each month and paying it back before it's the statement date. There's a difference between a due date and a statement date. And the statement date is what you use. That's the date they're reporting to the credit agencies. So before you go, ask for increases. Make sure you're actually using that account and you was never late on that account. Call that person.
When you say never late, is that it's due on the 2nd, but you paid on the 5th, or it's due on the 2nd, but you didn't pay the 30 days or after?
I'm talking about the 30 days, because
Oh,
stuff
okay.
happened. If
Okay.
you was due on the 2nd, right? That's
Yeah.
your due date. Your statement date probably is not even until 7 days or 6 days later. That's the date they're reporting whatever your balance is. So I made a spreadsheet with all of my cards and I have their statement date. But you were never late, meaning 30 days late. So that's not being reported to your credit agency, and it's not going to affect you.
Nice. And there's definitely, and the whole thing is you want to use your business credit more than your personal credit, because your business credit, they are looking at your personal credit to determine whether or not you'll be approved, but they don't report when you use your business credit to your personal. It doesn't impact your debt to income ratio.
Now, there's two cards that I know for sure that we can apply for a business credit card. However, they do report to your personal, and that's Capital One and Discover. So those are the two that I'm not saying don't get it, but I don't make that my first ones to get. And that's because them, reporting to your personal. And that's what my goal is, to the point where I'm not using my personal anymore. It's everything business, right? So it got to the point where one of my homes here in Georgia that was on my personal credit, I sold it to my business, right? And when I sold it to my business, it's no longer reporting on my personal credit. And at the closing table, they gave me 75,000 back.
Mm,
So,
beautiful.
and then I turned around and did the same thing with my vehicle. I went to my credit union and they told me, oh, okay, we could finance it. So I had my car reporting on my personal, but then I went to Bank of America and sold it to my business. So now that's not reporting, right? So that's the goal. We got to start moving away from the personal and doing everything on the business side and only using that personal to let these banks and whomever just peek at it to see our credit worthiness.
When you sold your car from your personal to your business,
Refinance the car one.
you refinanced the car.
I refinanced it to my business name and got a better interest rate, and they reporting it as zero now, as if I paid it off in 4 months.
Yeah, I
Yes.
got to talk to you about that because I was looking at putting one of my vehicles, actually my vehicle in Michigan, I was looking at putting that into the business name, but the interest rate was it was significantly higher.
Nope. No. Well, look, you need to call me. I think my interest rate for that vehicle, I think it was a three,
What?
3 or 4, the most. I'm just saying.
Girl, when you get that?
A Bank of America. I'm telling you, listen, it can be done. That's why I'm saying to them, credit is it. And I think at that point, I was only a 720, 740.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
really, really good. Yeah, because I'm about to get this new G Wagon and the interest rate on it, they're telling me now is like 7.
I brought mines, I think, 3 years ago. So I don't
Oh,
know if that made a big deal,
yeah.
but people are still doing it though.
People are
But
still doing
just
it.
think about it. You wouldn't have to have that on your personal,
Yeah.
right? Let's
Yeah.
just say if the interest rate was to drop again, you turn around and refinance it down to the 3% or the
Yeah.
4%. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So the goal is to be able to continue to use that business credit card, Kima, that business open line of credit to do your down payment and your closing costs on your single families that you're buying, your duplexes that you're buying. We already have lenders that are ready to give you 80%, but we are able to do 100% finance by using like Kima was saying, the business credit cards and or the business open lines of credit. And that's how, and then you go from house to house to house to house. And then of course, you guys know we have amazing grant opportunities too for a lot of these single families. If you have a non-occupied home that you already own, or occupied home, non-occupied $100,000 per home, and non-occupied we get $40,000 per home. So between the grants and the business credit, you can really expand your real estate portfolio really, really fast. Any last points on the credit? And those of you that want to get more information, I'm going to host a Zoom right after this. Oh, let me tell you two things. First of all, March 29th in Detroit at 10 a.m., I'm going to be at Chase Bank Courtown. Okay, at 10 a.m. Some amazing people will be there. You definitely want to be there. And then right after this as well, I'm going to be hosting a mentorship call for those of you who say, hey, I'm ready to connect with Akima. I'm ready to connect and get in the real estate mentorship program. I want to hear the details. I'm ready to go. Kima, go ahead and just give us any last points, because I know credit is just one of those things you got to pay attention to if you're serious about building real estate.
Yes, and one last takeaway I would like to say is, and I've been here and done it. I used to put it off and say I'm gonna get to it, right? I used to put it off and say right now. I mean, not right now, but look at credit as one of the, and I love to use this example. Don't ask me why, but so many people say, oh, I'll have a child when I get more money. What is more money? What is that secret number, right? There is no set limit. You make way with what you have, right? You have to start somewhere. And this is no sales call for you to join or whatever. Whether you go with me, somebody else, just know credit is a process and it's a light at the end of that tunnel, but you have to start somewhere. And I feel that everyone on this call is here for a reason, right? Because they see themselves investing, they see themselves owning homes. But how can you do that? I mean, people can, but we all about OPM, right? Using other people's money. It's no need for you to deflate your whole bank account just to get property, or you keep dancing around fixing your credit, right? So I just want to say, if you're serious about it, I'm here, Jewel is here, and trust and believe whatever we can't find out as a team, we get it done. What they don't see is we be on the phone 9, 10 o'clock. We make it happen. And you can show those that are passionate about it, right? And I just want to say, trust the process.
Yeah.
Everybody results are not the same, but everyone results in the same, which is
Yeah.
deleted, right?
Yep.
So thank you so much. But Jewel, I just wanted to drop in the chat
Yeah.
where they could get
Please.
a list of banks.
Yeah.
Because guess
Please
what?
do.
You may have some people on here that's not credit challenged, right? And if
Right.
that's the case, I just want them to be able to text a word so they will see a list of banks and they'll be able to go ahead and move forward with their investments.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay?
Okay, so she's going to drop that in the chat, you guys. Get that information. And I don't care where you're at. Kima, thanks so much for jumping on here. You always,
You're
girl,
welcome.
just a ball of fire, tons of strategy. Like I told you, she helped me get my credit life together. My credit went up over 52 points just about a week and a half ago. Just hit that 1/800 process after being hit. Going down 50 points because I had so many hard inquiries and she got those off. But you got to text me and see what we got left.
Okay. I got you. I'm
Yeah,
going
but
upstairs to work. It was my birthday weekend, but I'm still working. And
yes,
everybody
happy
looking at me
birthday,
like,
girl. Happy
thank you.
birthday.
Thank you. you. But I'm gonna drop the chat, and if you don't mind, I would like to drop your booking link. So that
Yes,
way,
please.
okay, I'll
Yeah,
drop that. So
yeah,
that way, if anyone wants that free consultation, I'm breaking it down to you as far as your utilization as well. I would say,
yeah,
okay, you got this credit one card, you need to bring this down to 450, and then I will give you options to move forward. That's all free. It's never a pressure call, but this is what I do for Jules clients. Okay.
yeah.
So I'm going to drop it in the chat now. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Al. I
You're
appreciate you. Happy
welcome.
birthday.
Thank you.
All right. So that was really good. So, again, we got everything that you need from beginning to end to get you started on your real estate building process. Don't wait. We're already, can you believe, Apostle Carter? We are already like at the end of March. It's about to be the end of the first quarter, going into the second quarter. And so I just want to make sure that we're moving aggressively, intentionally, and really, really gathering with other like-minded believers. We have an amazing community with everybody that you need from beginning to end, Shirley. We're going to help you identify the off-market property, particularly in the city of Detroit. Why am I focusing on Detroit? Literally, you can invest anywhere in the world. But when you look at doing business, you want to look and see, where is my entry point the lowest? Right, Chris Boyd? Where is my entry point the lowest? Right? Where's my entry point the lowest? Lowest, how much can I make from this particular transaction? How much can I get in rent every single month? We have access to Section 8. We have access to VA. We have access to property management companies, because I'm not managing my own properties, okay? In the beginning, I'm very hands-on with my property managers because I'm setting a standard for them, Jerika. But really, honestly, Apostle Carter, after that, it's like, hey, I let them go do what they do, and I just collect the rent every single month, keep the properties well maintained, and that's a blessing, right? That's really a blessing. And so I want you, in this season particularly, I really want people to hold on to their property. If you can hold on to your property, if you cannot sell your property, hold on to your property. Why? Because there is a housing shortage in the United States of America. There's definitely a housing shortage in the city of Detroit, and you're going to be able, those rent prices, you're going to be able to continue to increase those rent prices significantly every single month. Every single month, those rent or not every single month, but every single year, you're going to be able to take up the rent as long as the property is well maintained. Now, remember, in addition to the credit, that's one aspect, but then we also have the other side of the business is we also have where you have access to grants. I'm going to say this again. This is a big deal. This is worth you going and buying a duplex. Honest to God. If you get a duplex, you have the potential to get $100,000 per door. $200,000. And you can use that money to do the rehab. Now, more than likely, you're not going to use the entire $200,000 on the rehab. If you're smart, you're going to take that and go and you're going to do it again. Plus, you got the equity on the property that you can pull the equity out, right? So between the grants, the equity, and the credit, there's no reason why 2025 in these next, 8 months or whatever for 2025, it's no reason why you can't end up with an additional bare minimal 10 doors, bare minimal, right? Because if you're just getting started, Apostle Carter, I'm going to start you with the duplex. We're going to help you get a duplex. I literally am helping somebody right now. She just signed up, and I had already found this cute duplex. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show it to you guys. But we have so many amazing deals all the time. Now, hopefully, changes. Okay, I think if I do that, I might lose y'all. Okay, if I lose y'all, I'm gonna come right back. Hold up, y'all. Okay, I'm about to show you. Wait a minute. Okay, this is a really good deal. Okay, so, oh shoot, that's not what I wanted to show you. Hold on, you guys. But we got some really good deals, and I get great deals like every day. I get so excited about these. All right, so this is okay, no, not this one. I want to show you some pictures. All right, let me do this again. All right, let me see. Let's go ahead and show. Oh, American. This is a cutie. This is a 2-family. All right. But look at this guy. Isn't this so cute? They dropped the price 100,000 or 11,000, so it's just $100,000. Isn't this so cute? Look at this. I mean, fully rehab, no work to be done. So you're talking about being able to get like 1,300 upstairs, 1,300 downstairs, 2,600 a month. Your mortgage, taxes, and insurance is probably going to be about $950. Look at this. This is great. There's no work to be done. These are the kind of deals that I really, 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 really love because there's no work to be done and we're just getting straight to the bag. No work to be done, right? That's what I really, really like those kind of deals for my clients. Let's see if we can find some more. There's another one. Now this is, oh, okay. Yeah, let me show you this one. So this one, let me see. There's an apartment building that I really like. Let's see if I can show you this. All right, this one between, okay, here we go. All right, so look at this one. This one is on Maxwell Street. This is 14 units. This is a really sweet deal. Now, this is not going to be for a brand new person. Okay, this is going to be for a person who already has maybe a couple duplexes because lenders are not going to allow you to just go straight to a multifamily without knowing that you have, you know, some experience. They look for what we call a schedule of property. But this is what you could do. So let's just say you said, hey, this is where I want to be. So what I would do is say, hey, let's go ahead and knock down 3 different duplexes. That gives you 6 doors. Then we can come back, turn around. Let's just say by July, August, depending on how fast we do it. And now apply for a 14 unit like this. Okay, 8,400 square feet. But look at how nice these are. It's already updated. They already have tenants in it. I want to say it's right at 100% occupied, which is great. Let's look at some of these numbers. Oh, I love this stuff. This makes me so excited. So you got 1 bedroom, 2 units. You got 2 1s, 11 1. Okay. So you got all 1 bedrooms, 14 1 bedrooms. Okay. And then the rent is $845. That rent price is probably a little low. 1 bedrooms, you can usually get $1,000. I have 1 bedrooms that I get $1,000 for, especially if you're doing Section 8. And then the monthly rent, they have this broken down is $11,825. Annual rent is $141,000. Then let's go down here to the expenses, see if there's anything we can cut. Administrative $250, that's about right. Advertising and promotion $100, we could probably get rid of that. Payroll $1,100, that's for your property manager. Then you've got repairs and maintenance turnover when people move out $750, that's about right. Management fee 5%, that's about right. Utilities $1,000. Now, what I would probably try to do, that's not bad for a 14 unit. I'm assuming that the tenants are probably responsible for all of their utilities because this is fairly low, but you still have, as a landlord, you're going to have the common area. So I would still see if there is a way to get this down. I would want to make sure that all the meters were separated because you can separate them if they're not, and see if there's a way that we can get the utility bill down a little bit. Contractor services $275, real estate taxes $1,000. 56. One of the other things that our company does is we help you to get tax exemption so that you don't have to end up paying any taxes. Okay. But that's $1,056. And then insurance is $350. Replacement reserve, $100. So anyway, total expense is $69,000. I mean, I think we could reduce this a little bit, but that's probably about right. Okay. So your net profit is $66,000. Now, this is what I want you to remember. This price is going to continue. Why is this net going to go up? You know why this net is going to go up? Well, first of all, we will work on getting you property tax exempt. So that means that you would be able to add on 66,000 plus 14. What is that? Because especially if you're doing affordable houses, we could get you tax exempt. So now that is 8. So now you're making $80,000 per year because now you have no taxes that you're paying, okay? Because we got your property tax exemption. And then of course, remember every single year, your rent is going to go up. So that's really good because if I was to spend, let's see, what did we say? How much did this guy cost? 700 something. This was 700 something. So let's just say 750. Your note on this guy would probably be about maybe 5,000, probably between 4,500 and 5,000, right? Joe, hey, between 45,000 or 4,500 and 5,000. But if you're bringing in, what do we say? We would be netting 80,000. 80,000 divided by 12 is what? Is that 7? No. 6. Let me get my calculator. What's 80,000? We pull up the calculator, child. Let's do the math for real so we can know exactly what we're looking at. Calculator. Okay, 80,000 divided by 12 is 6,600. So now you're netting 6,600 a month. Okay, that's very good. Now remember, what's going to happen? Your rent is going to go up every single year. Your rent is going to go up every single year. So this is why real estate in the long game becomes such a sweet deal. Now, let me say this too. And for those of you that are interested in possibly getting mentored, we have a couple packages. Okay, so follow me here. Okay, follow me here. Get a pen and paper if you can. You're going to make money 3 ways in real estate. Okay, Chris? You're going to make money with the equity, Jerika. You're going to make money with your rental income. And then you're going to make money with grants. So equity, grants, and rental income. Those are the three main ways to make money. Now, if you flip the property, of course, you have an opportunity to make money there. But let's assume the hold. Because the way to become wealthy is to have rent coming out, rent being paid to you every single month, because that's true passive income. Can y'all put in the comments for me right now, rent is true passive income. Rent is true passive income. This is how the wealthy get wealthier. Rent, come on, put that in the comments. Say that out of your mouth. Rent is true passive income. What's up, John? John is one of my business partners, okay? Rent is true passive income. Rent is true passive income. Because this is what I want you to envision. You're going to be bringing in rent every single month. So what we got to do, Paya, is we got to figure out how much money do you need every single month to walk away from your job or to live your dream life. We'll start with paying your bills, but then after paying your bills, Johnson, I want to know how much money do you need every single month coming in for you to feel really good? right, Joe? So for some of you, you might say 3,000, some may say 5,000, some may say 10,000, some may say 20,000. Doesn't matter what it is, because we can start building towards that. We're going to use equity, we're going to use rental income, or we're going to use grants. Okay, put that in the comments. Equity, rental income, grants. Equity, rental income, and grants. For every property that you own in the state of Michigan. Now, there are grants all over the country, but right now, we got a slam dunk with these grants. If you own a property, if you're ready to buy a property, single family, multifamily, it doesn't matter. You're going to make, yes, $10,000 to start in the mentorship program. If you want to do multifamilies over the next 12 months, it's $25,000. But we walking you through from beginning to end, baby. We got everything you need back. You got everything you need, okay? You finna to make that way back, over and some, okay? So, all right. Equity, rental income, and grants. If you have a non-occupied home, Katie, in the state of Michigan, then you are eligible, Trina, for a $100,000 grant. Now, my business partner will write the grant for you and include a one-page website for $3,800. It's way worth it. Duh. She knows the language, and when I say she getting them improved. Now, if you have an occupied property, Chris, with tenants in there, then she charges $2,800 for that. Now, if you just are like, hey, I just want her to tell me what to do, I'll write it, she'll do it. You just pay her $700 and she'll do it. But if I were you, I would not be playing around with that. I want somebody that I know, you know the language, you know the peeps, you know all of that. Get me to the finish line. Give me that $100,000. I'll gladly pay you that $3,800, honey. I'll gladly pay you that for each door. And each door that I have tenants in, I will gladly pay you for that as well. Because you got to look at the big picture. You talking about reparations? What? To be able to get that kind of money that you don't have to pay back? What? This literally can change everything for you. These moves right now, these strategies right now can change everything for you. Because my goal and my desire for you is that you work because it's purpose, not because you needed to pay bills. Because your rental income, the equity, and the grants is going to put you in a position where you are literally set for the rest of your life, because you're going to keep running the same play. Then what you going to do, right? So Chris, what she does is she does a free credit analysis for you and tell you, everything you need for your credit. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to first identify a good duplex like the one I showed you, a good duplex. Now, some of them, the duplexes that I have access to, John, are rehabbed and ready for tenants right now. Some need to be rehabbed. We'll determine which one. Okay. All right. Does that include equitable interest like in land contracts as well? Yeah, as long as the land contract is not filed at the property assessor's office, and hopefully you just are holding it at in escrow at the title company, then you are still eligible. Because I actually did one, but it wasn't recorded. It's being held in escrow at the title company until we close, which I don't know how long it's going to take her. I mean, I gave her like 15 years. It behooved me to do it because it's a good deal, right? All right. Now, so you get the duplex. It's empty. You want to rehab it. You want to put tenants in it. Bet. Get the duplex, close on the duplex. As soon as you close on the duplex, you apply for the $100,000 non-occupied for both. That's $200,000. Have them boarded up. Keep it safe until you get approved. Once they start paying the money, then you start doing the rehab. So you wait to do the rehab, but you secure the property now so that you're able to take advantage of these grants, because the honey is flowing. The moon is high and the honey is flowing. And that's what you want. This is the perfect storm to become wealthier faster than you ever had, than you ever could imagine. This is the perfect storm to become wealthier faster than you ever could imagine. Everything is timing. This beautiful mansion that we live in right now, 13,000 square feet. We bought this in 2007 when everything was tanking. So now the appraisal on this boy is multiples, right? So what am I saying? Everything is about timing. Everything is about action and timing and relationships, right? I can walk into Bank of America because I have relationships and get everything that I need. I can walk into Chase Bank because of relationships. I can get everything I need. So guess what? Whoever else I'm in relationship with, Mia, also gets the same privileges that I have access to. This is the power of community. And this is what we're building. Okay. And so for those of you that are ready to move with us, to join the community, I want you to get ready to join me on 7figureinvestor.com. It's right here at the bottom. Type this in, 7figureinvestor.com. I'm going to have a private meeting with you guys right after this. Okay, it's right at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. We're about to jump on that Zoom. For those of you that are interested in moving into our mentorship program, okay, and we do have a company that will fund it for you. So the $10,000, the $25,000, we have a company that will fund that for you. And then I'm going to run you all the way to the bags, baby. We better run it up, baby. We better run it up. Because you can already see what I'm doing on Sunday night. I'm not playing with it. Coming for everything. Period. End of the story. Be clear. I'm very clear on how I'm ending 2025. I'm very clear on how I'm ending the first quarter of this year. I'm very clear on how I'm going into the second quarter. You got to get with some folks that's clear and got the relationships and got the strategy, because if I don't know the answer, Kima know the answer. If Kima don't know the answer, Shatava got the answer. If Shatava ain't got the answer, Phil got the answer, and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. We got a squad full of people that are in their genius, in their God-given grace gifts. And that's what you want. That's the championship team. That's how you win. That's how you win championships, because you're on the right championship team. And by the grace of God, we have built a championship team that's ready to run all the plays necessary for this to be the strongest financial year of your entire life. This is the year that you are supposed to supersede all prior, whatever your best prior accomplishments were. This is the year that you superseded. This is the year that you take action. This is the year that you run straight into greatness. Don't stop. Don't look to the right. Don't look to the left. Just keep running. And guess what? Eventually people will start looking up and saying, oh my gosh, what happened? What you been doing, child, while you were sitting back, getting fat and doing whoopty whoop, 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 whoop. I was working. I was taking notes. Come on, somebody. I was alert. I was up. I was exercising. I was learning. I was on the lives. I was making the moves. I was doing everything that I needed to do to get the desired result that I want from my life. Success is very predictable. It is not unpredictable. When you see successful people, you already know it was predictable. I can almost guarantee that you had success habits. I can almost guarantee that you had a success rhythm. I can almost guarantee that you had successful friends. I can almost guarantee that you were moving in successful strategies. I can almost guarantee that you didn't listen when you were told no. I can almost guarantee that you didn't overthink. You just kept taking action. I can almost guarantee you probably felt scared, but you didn't pay attention to the fear. You just went after the faith. I can almost guarantee that you had a vision for your life. I can almost guarantee you was hungry. I can almost guarantee you wanted more. I can almost guarantee that you were determined to advance regardless of who got it and who didn't. You were determined. I can almost guarantee. Right. And so for those of you that are ready for that, I want you to jump on 7figureinvestor.com, 7figureinvestor.com. That's my Zoom link. Also, if you're anywhere in the city of Detroit, March 29th, I want to encourage you to get on jeweltankerevents.com. Some of y'all need to fly in. Okay, some of y'all are already in the city. Pull up. Pull up. It's at Chase Bank in Corktown, March 29th, Saturday at 10 a.m. Go ahead and register for free. It's no charge. jeweltankerevents.com. Okay, some strong players will be in the room. You want to make sure that you're in the room. Whatever you want to become associated with. So listen, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me on this Sunday evening. Go ahead and again, join me. For those of you that are ready and interested, you might have a couple more questions. Go ahead and join me on 7figureinvestor.com. Okay, 7figureinvestor.com. And I'll see you there. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.